Hey everyone, welcome to another video here on YouTube, and this is going to be my sketchbook tour for 2017. I actually just finished this one before starting Inktober, so this does not contain any of my drawings for Inktober. I was also planning on posting this one during October, but I ended up changing my mind because obviously I participated in Inktober, and yeah, so this got pushed back, but it's finally here and I am showing you just one sketchbook. This is the Reno Art A5 hardbound sketchbook. It has cartridge paper on the inside, which is around 110, 120 GSM. I'm not actually sure because it's not written down on the packaging, but if you have watched previous art material videos that I have posted here, or previous sketchbook videos that I've also posted here on my channel, then you would know that I talk about this a lot because it is definitely my favorite sketchbook. It's cartridge paper, so it's not actually mixed media paper, and I wouldn't really advise using watercolors or paints or other wet media in this sketchbook. I feel like it's perfect for ink drawings, especially if you're using like brush pens, or if you're using fine liners, or if you're using colored pencils as well, or sketching pencils, charcoal, all that other dry media materials. Those would be fine, but it's not for watercolors. But even though it's not, I still love using watercolors in the sketchbook because it actually makes the pages wrinkly, and I love that, and I also talk about that in my other sketchbook tour videos. So yeah, for this one, what's different with this compared to the previous ones that I've done is that I actually dedicated a page for my journal writing or my diary entries and another page for my drawings. So if you have noticed a pattern with these page spreads as I'm flicking through the sketchbook, especially in the beginning part of this sketchbook tour, is that on the left hand side is dedicated to my writing and on the right hand side is dedicated to my drawing. And I decided to use this setup because of two reasons. The first one is I thought that if I did this, I would be much faster at filling in the sketchbook, which I did feel like it helped because I finished the sketchbook in like a few months, maybe 3 months. So I think I started this in June and I finished it before October. So yeah, like that's my new record for finishing sketchbooks, which I am super proud of. And if you guys have watched my previous sketchbook tour videos, then you would know that I have a problem, or I struggled a little bit with filling in sketchbooks, and it's been a constant goal every single year to keep improving the pace in which I finish my sketchbooks, and I am definitely seeing some improvement, so I am so happy about that. And the other reason as to why I also use this setup is because I don't really like to draw on the left-hand side of the sketchbook, especially towards the beginning. I find it uncomfortable. I think it started when obviously I was using spring-bound sketchbooks back in the day, and I would just not like it for my hands because the spring or the coil would get in the way, and it just transferred onto other notebooks, even with this one, which is stitch bound, or it has a stitch binding. And this setup did work for a little while, but like I said, it stopped like halfway through because I bought a new notebook that I ended up using as my actual journal where I would write things down. And so obviously I was using that more, and this one just got neglected as the journal, but I still kept using it as a sketchbook. So yeah, and you will see that towards the end of the sketchbook, it's definitely changed from what it looked like in the beginning, which is totally fine. I mean, it shows the growth, I guess, or maybe it just shows the decline in the motivation to keep drawing in this sketchbook. So yeah. And this is pretty much when I just used it as a sketchbook. So I stopped writing in this one, or at least I stopped writing those long entries, and I just used it as a sketchbook. And this was also when I started to use the colored pencils with watercolors and fine liner combination, which I ended up using for Inktober, but of course I switched the watercolors for the inks. Then again, I pretty much used them the same way because I use the inks with waters. So yeah, and in this one, I was basically just experimenting with like the style of whether I wanted to add the black fine liner or if I didn't want to do it, because I don't know, I just wanted to see what it would look like. And yeah. So this was also around the time when I was drawing every day, and even multiple times a day, because I just had so much inspiration. And I also feel like it's a cycle. Like there are days, or there's like a period of time where I'm drawing every single day and multiple times a day even, and then that just suddenly stops. And then I'd have this period of time where I wouldn't draw, or I'd draw like once or twice a week, and then that would stop, and then I'd be back to drawing every single day. And I feel like it's just a cycle, and maybe that's just how I work. I don't actually know, or maybe that's why I can't really get into the habit of doing daily drawings, especially during Inktober. Like I definitely realized that I get really burnt out easily, I feel like. So I don't know. And even here, like you can see that the sketches, they are unfinished, and I mean I'm totally fine with that, because during this time as well I was really into practicing drawing hands, or upgrading the way I draw hands, making them look more stylized. And so here are some practices. And then I had this drawing right here, which I'm pretty sure I did on the same day, where I tried to use a reference photo of a person with hands that I really liked, and I tried to draw it in a stylized way. And the previous drawing that you saw as well was pretty much doing the same thing. And yeah, and here it's just a rough pencil sketch, and I guess I was getting a little bit lazy, but also not really lazy. Like I was drawing a lot, but they were just unfinished sketches, which is still totally fine. They definitely do not look the same as the sketches that I did in the beginning of the sketchbook, but then again, I guess that's why you keep a sketchbook, because you see the progress. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's like a good progress, but just the progress of how you went about with using the sketchbook and what you decided to put in there. So here I actually was into doing rough pencil sketches, and I didn't really color a lot of them since, like I said, I was trying to compare whether or not I should still keep using my black brush pens or adding black line art to my drawings. So these pages are actually not in consecutive order. I pretty much started to draw on the right hand side and then finished all of the pages, and then I went back to the previous pages that I left blank, and then I drew on them. So it kind of jumped here and there, and yeah, but I still managed to finish this one, and I'm so happy. This is actually some paint swatches with the inks that I mixed for Inktober, and this is the end of the sketchbook. So yeah, I am so happy, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and that you liked it. I hope that this has inspired you, because I definitely do take a lot of inspiration from sketchbook tour videos when it comes to filling in my sketchbook as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one.